Okay, this is the JB's Warzone tier list. Yeah, we'll go Warzone tier list for now.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
The number one undisputed Giga Chad Cutie Pass Skibidi Jugmain does whatever the fuck he wants.
Going over the best and worst classes in SWTOR. Warzones. We're gonna go over all the classes. Start off with Annihilation. Annihilation, in terms of war zones, it has a lot of AoE potential, but the problem is that, I mean, it has healing and it has DPS. The only problem is that it just doesn't have that burst, and it doesn't have that, like, it has dots, but the dots don't burst enough. It feels like a lot of fluff damage. Same way that Operative has its AoE damage. I'll put Annihilation in B tier. It's not a bad class. It has its upsides, can do good damage, and like I said, good AoE. But in terms of other classes, it's just not as good. Lightning, I'd say, is it better than Annihilation? The problem with Lightning is that, I mean, why play Lightning when you can play Madness? And Lightning just has its burst, and it has a Thundering Blast, and you can easily dodge it. Even if you don't, I mean, even if you run, I forgot what the tactical that gives you instant cast of like Thundering Blast. But even if you run that, um, you don't have as much survivability as your peers. So it's a good B tier. Marksmanship, C tier. It's just, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. It might even be D tier, but in terms of just respecting how broken Sniper is, it goes into C tier. This is in terms of, like, I guess in war zones. Yeah. If it was like certain war zones, like Quesh, all snipers would be like A tier because of how broken it is just to be on the top and no one look at you. But yeah, that's a C tier. Even though snipers are broken in terms of, like, if you're like not dealing with melee players, yeah. Vengeance, A tier. Um, just great burst. If you have cut to pieces, especially for war zones, like I said, this is a war zone tier list. Uh, yeah, Vengeance is just crazy. The burst with the Vengeance Slam, or not burst, like the burst AoE with the Vengeance Slam, and the dots with the AoE Vengeance Slam with cut to pieces. Oh my goodness! And then you can run Hemolic Slash if you're going against like a, if you need to go like on against Sniper or something like that, where you can keep on reapplying the dots. Very versatile. I think it's very slept on, very 100% slept on. Rage, A tier. Um, the only reason I put Rage below Vengeance is because Vengeance has more survivability potential versus Rage. Rage has a lot of burst. If you press your buttons quicker than another person, you can survive. But at the same time, if the other team just has like a mercenary or a sniper or assassins even that can just prevent you from leaping and be able to cast your abilities, then it's gonna be hard to pop off as a Rage Jug. It has controlling factors, but it can easily get controlled. People don't want to accept that though. The reason why Rage, I gotta specify why in Warzones this is A tier. The reason Rage is A tier in Warzones is because, like I said, it's like if you have full range team, you have snipers, you have mercs, you have things to trap it, stuck it, boop it, bop it, all that. It's gonna be hard to for a Rage Jug to get around. If you just surround him, there's not much you could do. But still a good class, still A tier though. Madness, just S tier. Like outside of like mercs or outside of jugs and maybe even PTs, Madness just goes crazy. And even then, it's like I've said, it's so broken. What makes Madness broken isn't even his dots and how it can negate tanks, armor, or like, yeah, I think negate tanks armor, but it's the fact that it has a 5-second force speed. So even if you're in trouble, you can get out of trouble real quick. on top of the many ways of self-heal. Yeah, crazy class. S tier. Same with Prototype, Advanced Prototype. Easy S tier class, man. So broken. Advanced Prototype is so broken of how all the damage you could do. It is, yeah, it's really good. If you basically, reason Advanced Prototype is 8 S tier, it has hydraulics. It can get in and out of a fight. It basically, for the first, third, and fifth, fourth fights, maybe even, you can use your CC break on top of your Cultural Overload, and have you'll have full resolve after using both of those, and you'll just basically never be stunned. Like, you'll never be full stunned because you have both of those CC breakers. Because that's all Cultural Overload is basically used for. It's just a CC break, because it's pretty useless in terms of survivability and defensive cooldowns. Burst with power yield and energy burst, then power yield, while mixing in some shoulder cannons and then some shatter explosion AoE. It can do so much. Fury. A lot of people aren't gonna agree with this, but Fury is an A tier. People just don't want to play the class the way it's supposed to be, which is go in, do damage to a single target, and get out. It's very much alive, a much alive class. Yeah, it doesn't have the same burst that Rage Jug has. It can't hit that 100k raging burst that can't hit the 100k raging burst that Rage can, but it doesn't need to. It has great team play abilities with predation. Can catch up to mobile targets or even long range targets with its mad dash. Again, predation. You can even you can throw in that force crush to give you immunity to controlling effects, and then you have saber wards to give you immunity for 6 seconds to also, like, all CCs. I'm pretty sure it has a lot of mobility. A lot. I want to say it's even almost on par with Madness Orc if you know how to plan your DCDs right. It's just not an S tier because it just doesn't have the survivability. It has its force camo to get in and out of a fight. Basically, it's a good class. It's just people don't know how to play it right and just want to stay in the battle forever. But that's not what that class is meant for. Engineering, fucking S tier. It's actually, let me actually sort these S tiers. S tier. Yeah, engineering, prototype, madness. Yeah, 100%. So fucking everything in Warzones, even Warzones especially. It doesn't matter. Okay, I guess I have to explain all this. They have their. It's just all around just so broken of a class. People just are delusional. I don't know what to say.
Okay.
Wait, this Prototype. Oh, I'm sorry. This is 8 tier. Let me put. I already explained the Advanced Prototype. I gotta mix it. Pyrotech. When I said for Pyrotech, I meant for AP. So just switch it back and forth. For Pyrotech, I want to say B. Not because it's bad, but because it's high risk, high reward. If you aren't able to manage your DCDs right, or not DCDs, if you can't manage your heat right, manage your heat management correctly, then you're not gonna do much. You're gonna run out of heat, or you're gonna have too much heat, and then you're just gonna die because you have to spam basic attacks. But those who do master it, the sky's the ceiling or something. I forgot how the saying goes. It's super crazy, super good. Carnage. It is probably it is A tier. I want to say it's A tier because it's better than. It's definitely feels like better than Fury. Yeah, I guess that's how I do it. It's above Fury. Its ability to negate armor is just insane. I think the only reason I don't put it on, I mean, it has crazy mobility. Honestly, is it an A tier? Is it all the way top? It's either Carnage is either in between Vengeance and Rage, or I'm gonna put it here. Yeah, I'm gonna put it here. Carnage is such a crazy class. In terms of Warzones, again, we're doing PvP. In terms of Warzones, Carnage has is able ability to negate armor. It doesn't show it in like the DPS charts or in the like spec star parse stats, but when you actually play it in in PvP, you'll see how crazy it is with its damage. Very good class. Hatred, I'm gonna say A. It's not better than Vengeance because a Vengeance player able to use its AoE abilities, AoE dot ability is just gonna annihilate a hatred player using his AoE abilities, no matter how much lifesteal he gets. He's just not gonna complete with Vengeance. It's definitely an A tier class. There's a lot of good damage. Damage is definitely the meta right now. But the only problem is managing GCDs, but it's fairly good class. And if you run double camouflage, you're sure to have even more damage because you can take more fights. You can take a lot of fights. And especially if you run, what's that? I forgot what it's called, where you use your stalking stride or your phantom stride that gives you a critical chance increase. Yeah, like I said, a lot of damage. It has great burst and dot. Everything you can ask for. SS. What do you mean by SS? Double SS. Oh, like no. Oh, in terms of like another tier now. There's nothing
dude.
SS.
Wait till you see the.
Yeah, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, there is. Give me a second. Thank you for that.
Look at the
Yeah,
top
let's
of
go
his
Sandy's
head.
Yeah, this is the only one. This
Look at
is
his
perfect.
lips.
Yeah, it's broken class. Don't want to hear it. Arsenal. I put it at B tier. The only reason, but in comparing to these other classes, it's got to be like a C tier. Arsenal is like it's not good, but again, it negates armor. Innovative IO. I probably put it like a good bottom of the A. It's like a C plus. No, like a B minus. It shouldn't be on the same tier. Actually, lightning should be down here. Not down there, but like right here. IO, it just, I mean, some people make it work, but I don't know. Mark is in a funny place. It all depends on the player. With a lot of classes, of course, but like you gotta play that class expecting to take a lot of damage if there's no PT or jug. Like you're gonna be the third in line if there's not a PT or jug, so you gotta be prepared for that. Virulence, it's a bit of mixture of the both. Or no, it's pure dot. However, I'd rather have this is gonna be B tier. Virulence, you can survive a Virulence AoE dot. You won't be able to survive a Vengeance, and you won't be able to survive a Hatred if they AoE. So that's why Virulence is in B tier in terms of in a Warzone. Its overall potential versus the others, its peers is just not as good damage wise. But don't get twisted, its DCDs are broken, and if you were to go for them, you'd be just I mean, you help your team out, but you also become a lost person in the fight because you're just chasing after a sniper you're never gonna catch up to, and the sniper's doing damage while you're running after him. So you're playing cat and mouse, leaving your team at a disadvantage. So that's why it's definitely a B2. Deception, yeah, you definitely want a deception. Contrary to the list, with a lot of dot being at the top, a deception player, if you follow up with a deception player's opener, you can get rid of one player out of the game just like in a snap of a finger. It's so crazy how good a deception is in PvP. You don't use deception. Deception's not there to do numbers. It's there to farm kills, or not farm damage. It's there to farm kills. And if you follow up with a deception player's opener, you're almost guaranteed to one shot, like not one shot, like kill a player in like 2 or 3 seconds if they don't pop their DCDs in time. So I put them at the end of the day. It's PvP, so you want to kill targets, then prolong a fight or hold a point forever. Concealment. I honestly want to put it in D tier. Like a lot of me. Yeah, I do want to put it. I just didn't want to put it in front of Marksman because even Marksman is. Well, Marksman's rotation, I can't lie, is just messed up right now. It's in a terrible state. Concealment, you can get up close, but it has no survivability. But it's a D tier class. Lethality, Yeah, this is going up there. This is going up there because it has great survivability. Even if it were to get targeted, it has insane DR with its toxin grenade which is you can spam. It gives you DR if you run into the discipline or if you discipline into that. It'll give you like up to 8 to 12% DR. On top of its shield probe, on top of its evasion, which you can reset with your, I forget whatever it's called. And then you have all your abilities back up on top of your healing ability button. It's just such a good class in terms of war zones. You can dot everyone down. Just throw down your toxin blast or toxin AoE thing, I forget what it's called, and then run viral elements, and you're just doing insane damage, AoE damage, and that's all of it. All right, good video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the tier list. Good 35 minute video. Hopefully that was informative.